This man's credits includes Mad Men, Billions, Goliath, and now Watchmen every single Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on HBO. He is James Wolk. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Rich.
You got it. You're from this great state of Michigan, huh?
I am.
Where in Michigan?
I was born and raised in Farmington Hills, Michigan.
Farmington Hills, Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay.
About 45 minutes from Ann Arbor.
So, and you went to the University of?
For 4 years.
For 4 years.
Yeah.
So you grew up a Michigan fan, or are you a state? What are you? Because it's very important you declare right now.
Yes.
This week, as you know, this weekend is a pretty huge one coming up.
It's a big game.
Yes, it is.
It's a big game.
So
I'm definitely a Michigan fan. All my cousins on my mom's side went to Michigan State. And then my cousins on my dad's side went to Michigan.
So your cousins on your mother's side?
Yes.
All right. With all due respect, they're not as smart, right? They're not as sharp. They're not as smart.
That's what
right?
I tell my uncle all the time. No, I'm just kidding. They're very bright. They're very bright.
They are?
They're very bright.
Now, I know Thanksgiving's around the corner, James.
Yes.
You need to sort of cover your
we
tracks
don't see them
right
until
now.
Christmas, so I got some
okay.
running
So
room.
you got
Yeah. Christmas, Hanukkah.
It is serious, though. This is serious business.
It is.
Like this weekend, and I'm sure, again, fans out there of Alabama and Auburn and Oklahoma State, and obviously Clemson, South Carolina, that there are houses divided in in-state rivalries all over our great country.
Yeah.
This is one of the top ones here. This is big. This is huge.
Michigan State's huge. I remember when I went there as a freshman, my uncle came. He's a great guy, Uncle Bill. And he came to take me to lunch, and I sat down with him, a very cocky, confident 18-year-old, and I said, Uncle Bill, we are going to win 4 years in a row against Michigan State.
Okay.
And if we do, you owe me dinner and vice versa. And we won. Somehow, we won every year I was there.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, we need to send you back.
Yeah.
We got to send you back right away.
Weekend. Yeah, I know.
Although, you finished up the Lloyd Carr years, right?
Yeah, Lloyd, exactly.
So were you at the Appalachian State game?
No.
Or that was after you graduated?
That was after I graduated.
See, we got to send you back, James. Honestly.
That was
clearly
rough.
Clearly, we found a lucky horseshoe here.
Yeah, that was rough.
Well, that changed everything. Mm-hmm. That changed everything because that soured so many people in the alumni base on Lloyd. Even though, he is a legend.
Yeah.
And things just went downhill. And then eventually he did get, replaced.
Right.
There's one way to put it.
That's right.
But going out the door, he beat Urban Meyer and Florida with Chad Henne going 5 wide. Like he went out of the 3-yard cloud of dust. They went 5 wide and beat Urban and Tim Tebow. Look it up. That's how Lloyd Carr went out the door.
He was a great
from
coach.
Michigan.
He was a great coach.
I know.
Yeah.
So, okay. What did you take up acting on the campus in Ann Arbor? Did you do that stuff?
Yeah. So I came into the University of Michigan, and I was in the School of Music there. So I got a bachelor in fine arts in theater.
Okay.
And studied English, and that's the great thing about Michigan is that it's just such a great. I could just talk about Michigan. It's just it was great because you can take, if you're a BFA, you could take like sciences and English and art. So I got a really nice, well-rounded education, but I studied acting when I was in college.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I did. I worked for the student newspaper, the Michigan Daily.
Michigan Daily.
Did you work for it too?
I didn't, but I read it.
Okay, very good.
Great paper.
Yeah, my column was called "Get Rich Quick."
Nice.
That's what it was. Because that was my snappy. That's how I got my awards, Chris, way back in the day.
Chad Henne had 373 yards in that game.
Yeah, right. And they beat Tebow and Urban.
Yeah,
correct?
they did.
In the Orange Bowl, right?
Correct. I know, Citrus Bowl.
Citrus. I knew it was some sort of
41-35.
Wow.
As they went out the door, Rich Rod was standing on the sidelines.
Florida ranked 9 that year.
See ya. God, I loved Lloyd Carr. He's a good man, and his whole family is too. At the Chad Tuff Foundation in Ann Arbor, people should look it up. Give all your, if you want to donate money to a great cause for pediatric health, that is the one for you to also check out. James Wolk here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, so now let's talk about your career. What would you call your biggest break in your career, James?
Well, the first thing I ever did where I was able to do some real acting was it was about a year after college, and I went in for a film. It's a true story about a guy who had Tourette syndrome called Front of the Class, and I ended up playing this guy. His name was Brad Cohen out of Atlanta, Georgia, and that kind of was my entry into the business. You know? That's the big jump, is you go from being on a stage in college to
getting
graduating and going like, how do I get paid for this?
Right.
Or get anyone to pay attention? and that was the thing that I knew I could make a living doing it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And then then Mad Men, Billions, Goliath. I mean, you have worked on some great television shows. Now, Watchmen. I do want to kind of jump around a little bit here.
Yeah.
What is it like being on something with a rabid fan base that is no doubt combing through every detail of your show to make sure you are being faithful to what they believe needs to be hewed to completely? What is it like for you?
Yeah, because Watchmen is obviously based on the graphic novel Watchmen. The thing that takes the pressure off for us, quite frankly, is that Damon Lindelof, the creator, basically said, look, this isn't Watchmen, the graphic novel. This is Watchmen, and it's set 20 years, 30 years after what took place in the graphic novel. So it's kind of, to use his words, a remix on it. So we don't feel like we're exactly creating these characters in the exact age that they appeared in the graphic novel with all the chronology of those events. It's set in present day, kind of a dystopian United States.
With the president being?
The president being Robert Redford. Richard Nixon was the president for 30 years, and then Redford got him out of office, and now Redford is the president in our show.
President Robert Redford.
President Robert Redford.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Wow.
Okay.
Yep.
A river runs through it.
So I think that takes the pressure off, is that you go like, all right, well, let's just roll with it, and you try and just bring as much honesty and integrity as you can to the scripts that Damon and his team are writing.
Right.
And the good news is I think the fan response has been pretty solid. I think they...
Well, the ratings have been obviously through the roof, and that's one metric in which to measure whether fans are digging it or not. But we also don't know your character. You play a Republican senator named Joe Keene Jr. from Oklahoma, where this is taking place.
Yep.
We don't know if you're a good guy or a bad guy just yet, and I'm wondering whether you could tell us.
So, Senator Keene, and to talk about the graphic novel,
sure.
Keene is the son of this guy named Senator Keene, who appeared in David Gibbons' Watchmen, the original one that came out years ago. And he outlawed vigilantism, which is the whole thing behind the graphic novel, is that superheroes can't be superheroes anymore. And they're kind of in hiding and trying to do it illegally. And so I am his son. And, when we meet Senator Joseph Keene Jr. In the show, he's incredibly ambitious and political, and he comes into the fold, and you meet him, and you just know him as this senator who's kind of has daddy issues. He's trying to surpass where his father was as a senator. He has presidential ambitions. And it was really fun to play this character because he didn't exist in the graphic novel.
Right.
So I got to go like, all right, well, here's my version of this person that no one knows. And no one could say, well, that's not, true to the graphic novel. So there's a lot of creative license for me in the character.
And what can you tell fans about what the hell's happening in this show right now?
So in the show right now, if you've been watching, I think the 5th episode is going to air this Sunday.
9 Eastern.
9 Eastern, HBO. There is a death that takes place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And much like the graphic novel that started with a death and the mystery that surrounds it, our show starts in a very similar way. And you go on this journey with Regina King's character, trying to figure out why this person was killed, who did it, and what was their motivations. And everyone in the show is trying to figure that out. And it's incredibly important to my character, Senator Keene, because he's very close with the man who was killed, to find out why this happened. And it's just a wild ride, man. And one thing I would suggest, actually,
yes,
because my parents are watching it, and they go like, I really like it, but I'm a little confused on this thing. So I sent them an article. Okay. I think it was Entertainment Weekly, and it said the 5 things that you should know about the graphic novel to fully, wrap your mind around the show. You don't need to know them. Right. But I think it would just give you a little bit of a background if you're going to check it out.
Did your parents ever watch Lost? Did they ever watch that show?
My parents didn't watch Lost, but I did.
You did?
Yeah.
So you could basically say, look, there's something called a smoke monster this guy once created. I don't know where the hell this thing's going right now.
He's the master of keeping you guessing, Damon.
I know.
He's unbelievable.
I know, and you don't know sometimes when what's real, what's not, or what is really happening. And it's really great. Watchmen, Sunday nights, 9 Eastern time on HBO. And again, this is a hell of a cast. I mean, who have you been on a show with? I mean, you've been on a show with a ton of people, man. Yeah. That you're like, that the kid in Ann Arbor would be like, come on, I'm on a show with this person. I mean, what do you got for me on that front?
I've had some mind mind-blowing experiences, and especially right out of college, formative years too. I worked opposite, Jon Voight in a show I did back in 2010, which was just basically 2 years after graduation. And
Right.
I remember we were working together, and someone said, well, you should go and watch, is it Homecoming? It's Homecoming.
Coming Home.
Coming Home, excuse me.
Yes.
Coming Home. Just watch Coming Home. And I watched Coming Home in the middle of filming the pilot episode with him, and I shouldn't have done that because I was so nervous to act opposite him after I watched that because he was so pure and so real in that. I think he won the Academy Award for it.
They could have told you Midnight Cowboy too.
Yeah, I mean, he's unbelievable. And I had that experience. I worked with Robin in his TV show, kind of return after Mork and Mindy. We did a show called The Crazy Ones together.
With Robin Williams.
Yeah, and I got to improv with him, which was a pinch yourself moment. Every day for a year I got to improv with him, so it was amazing.
Did you ever...
pass out? 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I mean, I could not imagine.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously doing scripted with him, something like that, but actually, like, okay, it's now your job to just whole cloth it with Robin Williams.
Yeah, it was incredible.
I mean,
I still have those moments all the time of just going like, wow, I can't believe I'm getting the joy and pleasure of working opposite this person I grew up loving and watching. And Robin is a perfect example of that.
Right. I mean, in this cast too. Again, I don't want you to give anything away, but people who are in it: Louis Gossett Jr.,
Jeremy Irons.
Okay.
Everyone is just really. It's an incredible cast. And Regina. I mean, Regina is so good in this show. She's an amazing actress, but. She gets to be front and center.
Right.
I mean, she carries this thing. She carries it beautifully, and she has such grace and strength, and she's really a titan.
Well, you're an actor who's been in a ton of great stuff. Again, we're here with James Wolk on the Rich Eisen Show, and I don't expect you to know Jeremy Irons' filmography off the top of your head, but if you had to give me like 2 or 3 great Jeremy Irons roles, what would you name, James?
Oh my God, I just. I'll describe the movie to you because the names escape me because I just watched it, where he plays the wealthy husband of the woman who gets killed.
Yeah, he played Klaus von Bülow. That is in his world famous role.
What's the name of that film?
Now it's popped out of my head too.
Klaus von Bülow. That's right.
Right.
And he won the Academy Award for it, I think.
Right. That's one.
He's
right
epic.
there.
But everything from that to the Man in the Iron Mask.
Man in the Iron Mask.
I mean, it's a much different film, but he's good in everything.
Reversal of Fortune and Man in the Iron Mask. Those are 2.
Reversal of Fortune.
Of course.
Yes.
And would you name? Go ahead, Chris.
Die Hard 3.
Would I name that as one of his?
Yes.
Why not? Everything he does is good. He could read a phone book and you'd go, wow, that's really good.
The reason why I bring this up, is about a year ago, I was the second guest on Seth Meyers' Late Show, late night, okay? And Jeremy Irons was the first. And we went to New York because I was appearing in New York to do it.
Right.
This guy, I'm like, guess who I'm on with tonight? I did not know who the A guest was during our show.
Right.
Mentioned Jeremy Irons, and he goes, ooh, Die Hard
with a
3,
vengeance,
with a vengeance. And I'm like, no. That's not. So you had the appropriate first reaction right there.
Even though I couldn't say the title of the film. You knew it.
I'm doing it too.
Yeah,
it just
Reversal
popped
of
out of my
Fortune.
head. Right, exactly.
Amazing.
I mean, we're on, live TV radio. It just pops out of your head.
So good.
So that he says that, and then sure enough, I'm sitting in the green room watching him get introduced by Seth Meyers.
Yeah.
He's been in such great movies as Reversal of Fortune and Die Hard with a Vengeance. And I'm like, damn it.
Right.
Totally undercut my position.
Right, because your position was there's so many others you could name before that.
Not that. And it's not even the best Die Hard by a long stretch. Not even the top 2 Die Hards.
Yeah, his voice, the way his voice.
It's second.
All right, so I'll go there one more time. Do you think Die Hard, the original, is a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
I do.
You guys
I don't know why. I don't have a rationale. I don't have a good reason.
I'm taking loss after loss.
Taking L's.
It's on during Christmas all the
right,
time.
well, we're out of time, James. Yeah. Thanks for coming on, man.
It was great to be here. I'm gonna go watch Die Hard 3.
At James Wolk.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.